From Isolation Studios, it's Richard Krause.
Welcome everybody to In Isolation With, the talk show where we make a connection without actually making contact. I'm Richard Krause. I hope you're staying healthy, I hope you're staying happy, and I hope that you're staying safe. I have two guests for you today. Later in the show, country singer Sasha stops by to talk about her love of Patsy Cline, how her song Cheers celebrates people's uniqueness, and her new EP, The Best Thing. But first, we have a legend. In a career that spans 5 decades, Chaka Khan has sold an estimated 70 million records, collaborated with everyone from Cooder and Robert Palmer to Ray Charles and Quincy Jones, from Chicago to De La Soul and Mary J. Blige. She is a musician, singer, and songwriter with a shelf full of Grammys. I first saw her with the band Rufus on Soul Train singing their mega hit, Tell Me Something Good. I became an instant fan and have remained so all these years later, which is why it was so exciting to have the chance to speak with the music legend via Zoom to talk about her role as the voice of Henrietta the Chicken in the new Disney Plus film, The One and Only Ivan. Based on the best-selling children's novel, it's the story of a gorilla named Ivan who tries to piece together his past with the help of an elephant named Stella as they plan to escape from captivity. Chaka Khan tells me she was attracted to the script because she's an animal fan, who isn't, and any story that features a menagerie grabs her full attention. We began this conversation talking about how her character changed from the original script. Here's Chaka Khan.
I'll just cross the road then.
Why would you cross the road?
To get to the other side.
A while back, we were first looking at what kind of character they wanted me to be. It was a parrot. They were thinking a parrot before, and then we decided, they came back to me a while later with this Polish chicken, which I thought was fabulous. They showed me a picture of what the actual Polish chicken looks like. Beautiful bird. It's got the hair. It's got we have certain similarities, and so I was happy with my persona, and the rest is just finding my voice. And we found that was already here. We went for like, how can you say this in a chicken-like way? Blah blah blah. Danny DeVito and I, it's stupid to search. And finally, Danny just said, "Look, just say it. Just say it like yourself." So in doing this film, I found myself as well. Okay, I found my voice in a sense.
Let's give him a great show, okay?
The one and only.
Why do they want an angry gorilla anyway? You're a silverback. He terrifies humans.
You're not terrifying.
What did you have in your mind that is different than what we hear and see in the film?
Well, the thing is that I had no expectations. I really didn't know what to expect. I went in and when Daddy was sitting there, and we explored a few ways to talk, and everything just wasn't clicking. And as we were just discussing, that the fact that it wasn't clicking, he said, Shaka, he said, just talk like yourself. And that worked.
So often when the vocal tracks are recorded for these movies, animated films and films with a lot of other voice work in them, you're not with the other actors. So were you actually working with the actors at the same time? No. No,
it was just like I always work. That's how I do it. I've been doing it for almost 50 years with music. Yeah. I've never sung a duet with the person yet. Right? So, and with this new technology now, you could do, endless possibilities. So, no, it was nothing new for me. It was me standing at a mic, doing my bit. And the other artists were there on screen whilst I was doing it. So I was interacting with them in a sense, yes.
Can you tell me a story?
Once there was a baby elephant who was smart and brave, and she needed to live in the wild where she could be free.
Ivan!
This film has such lovely messages, I think, for kids and adults about how we should regard animals, that animals have feelings that I think sometimes maybe people forget. And that, for me, was the real takeaway. As this movie goes on and we get into particularly the last half hour of it, it's really moving in a way that I don't think I expected it to be. And I'm not sure why I thought that, but the animals became real for me. And I think that's the success of the film.
After I found my voice and said, okay, this is what you're going to use, I didn't think chicken ever after that. I was just an entity talking to other entities, which is beautiful. Just what it's all about. Get the message.
I've been reading about you, and years ago, I read your book. And I'm told that you're working on another one. And I'm just reminded by this because you have hundreds of books behind you in the background. Will there be another one?
I'm an avid reader, as you seem to be as well.
Yeah.
I love to read. And that's been one of the things that kept my sanity. The books have been a sleeping pill. They've been a wake-up call. They've been so many things to me. And I still love books. I don't like to read stuff online. I have a relationship with the physical book, so I'm still like good old-fashioned girl reading a book.
There's nothing better than that. You know, the idea of actually holding it, and it makes you feel like, to me, like putting a record on a turntable.
Exactly.
It feels different than listening on Spotify or whatever it might be.
Absolutely agree. It's like you have a relationship with said thing.
Well, your parents were artistic, and so perhaps this is where all of this comes from. You being an author, a singer, an actor, all the things that you've done perhaps stem directly from having parents who I've read were bohemian. That's the word that I've been used to describe them.
Very true. It's very true.
And do you think that had they not been, that you'd be sitting here today doing the work that you've done?
Who knows? I grew up in a really special place in Hyde Park in Chicago, around the University of Chicago, and so that in itself, makes a special. That's a special place for fathers. It was a great place to grow up. I think that a whole set of situations came about in my life that made it what it is. It made me what I am. Yeah. Being in Chicago. At the time I was in the part of Chicago I grew up in, with the parents I had, blah, 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 blah.
Two questions here. What's the best bit of advice that you've ever been given? And what advice would you give to people who are just starting out now, who are looking at a career as a performer or someone in the public eye?
I would tell anybody looking to work in this profession, get some understanding of it first before you jump off into this field of work, because it's a lot going on. I would suggest that they do some reading on some books. There are a lot of books that offer a lot of insight as to what this business is about. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest that they read up on some stuff and get some counsel as well. Good counsel before you make any decisions in this business. So that's the only thing that I can honestly say they need to do, because that's something that I didn't do and I should have done. I would have liked to have someone have told me that, when I was young. But that's about it. The rest of it, you can wing it. It's just common sense, like business is fundamentally common sense. This business is also based on common sense. with a lot of twists and turns. So you guys got to just be aware of that. But it's a beautiful business because you get to just express yourself. And the best advice I can give you is to find a walk in life where you can be honest with yourself and with everybody else. And then your life will be magical. It truly will.
One and only.
That was Chaka Khan. You can see her as Henrietta in The One and Only Ivan, starting August 21st on Disney+. Now, from a legend to an up-and-comer, let's meet Sasha, a country singer with a brand new EP called The Best Thing, now available on Apple Music and Spotify.
Well, I grew up in a small town in Northumberland County. The town's called Warkworth, Ontario, and you know, it's just the lifestyle. It's country living, and that's where I got inspiration for country living and country music. You know, it's farms. It's one yellow light in the middle of town, one main street, and I lived on a dead-end road. And so my mother, she played Patsy Cline. That was my earliest experience. I'm really inclined to traditional country music, and Patsy Cline was my first recollection of country music. I was really young, so I don't know that I appreciated so much of the story until I got older, but it was the feeling. It was her voice, it was the sound, the music, the instrumentation. That it's just, it's kind of triggers that nostalgia for me when you hear classic country music, you know. And so for me, what got me was the music.
Who needs 5 stars when there's a million more right where we are? I'm just laid back, faded leaf, my jeans and a baseball cap a blanket on a Silverado truck bed, dust off a homemade bottle of red. Take it to the country we can lay low, kick back to some throwback country, golden calling ahead to save us a spot.
My parents were musicians as well, so music was ever present in my life, from non-stop. So they had rehearsals in the house, and they had musicians over, and we were going down to the Royal Legion, checking out their gigs. They drag us out to their gigs and backyard bonfires, and it was the setting. It was the thing that was preparing me for who I am today.
There's a big leap from singing along to Patsy Cline records to becoming a professional singer. What were the steps in between?
I've been in the country music industry for, I would say, quite a long time. Since 2012 is when I stepped out as a solo artist. I started just writing my songs, and I put out an EP, and so that's when I took it serious as an independent artist and a solo artist. And I started with a song, grabbed my guitar, got a pen and paper, melody came, words came. It took the song down to an open mic, and the rest is history, honestly.
Did you know at that point, like the crowd reaction was the thing that said, oh, this could work?
The feeling that I had for myself and the passion that I had for what I was doing confirmed that this could work before I even got a reaction. When I wrote my first song, you know, and when the feeling that I got when I wrote my, you know, I wouldn't say first song, but wrote the first song that I took to, you know, publicly.
You played in public, yeah.
Right, and got reception. You know, it all started inside first, and when I went out there, it was just a confirmation of what I already felt and what I've already believed in myself.
The Best Thing is the new EP. Tell me a little bit about the songs and kind of the messages. What would you like people to take away from this? Is it just throw it on the, I don't even know what to say, the CD player, Spotify, play however you enjoy fine music these days, and
Right.
and sit back and enjoy, or are there messages woven into it? What is this record all about?
It's definitely a new chapter for me. Dan Swinimer, he's a CCMA nominated producer, and he did quite a number on this EP, and it's totally a different, it's an interesting, fresh sound in the country music realm. I wouldn't say it's anything like I've quite heard.
Cheers, 'cause the night has just begun. If If you're looking for some fun, go ahead and grab someone. To the lady leopard dancing up on the bar. She turned 87, started smoking cigars. To everyone you can't classify, who ain't afraid to let the freak flag fly. Just cheers, just cheers.
Well, you know, this record is a little bit of everything. I've got songs that celebrate your uniqueness and in a fun and electrifying ways, such as Cheers. I got songs that help people or anybody kind of maintain and believe in a standard that they uphold in relationships, and it could be related to a dream, because there's a song called Standard on the EP. So again, still a great message to hear in a fun way. I've got songs about love and afraid of taking risks and not knowing what would happen if you didn't take that risk. And I've got songs about just having a good time. and I've got songs for, you know, just sitting in the back of a Silverado and kicking back to some throwback country golds.
Well, Sasha, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. You have an adorable dog, and is he still there? And you're there.
His name's Trooper.
Yeah, Trooper. Well, you've got a great dog, great record, and as soon as the rules start to lift, I'm sure you'll be playing live, and we can all come see you.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. This has been great.
That was Sasha, just like Cher, just one name. Find her EP called The Best Thing on Apple Music and Spotify. That's it for today. My thanks to Chaka Khan and Sasha for their time, but most of all, my biggest thanks goes to you for watching. I'm Richard Krause. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe, and we'll talk again soon.